Alright guys, I'm making this video for someone on YouTube that has requested it. It is detailed on this tiny little oscilloscope that I bought. It is model DS0201 in China, and it works pretty nicely. I like it a lot. And how I set it up for to see the sine wave on inverters or in your wall. This is just a cheap modified 100-watt inverter that I'm going to be demonstrating this on. Connected up to my 900 amp hours or so of batteries, and it will be loud. As you can see, it is now on. You can touch one at a time as long as the inverter itself isn't grounded, and you won't get shocked. This is your one's neutral, one's your live, and this is ground. Those are what we're hooking up to with this oscilloscope. So this is what's on the end of your oscilloscope. You have this little barb. It slides back, and you have an alligator clamp. Doesn't matter which way you put it on. You just clip one side on the one side, and you barb the other side. There we go. They're both hooked up. Let's see if I can get this to stay. Turn it on. And you get all this funky stuff. Straight away, I go straight down to this purple zone, and I hit over to the left, which gets rid of it. I don't want that. I don't use it at all. Then I go to this top menu in the blue, hit menu, go down one, which brings me over there. I'm going to hit over to the right, which brings it to 10 times. I go back up one, which brings me over to the left side of that, and I'm going to go all the way as high as I can go. So 10 volts, 10 times, and I'm going to leave this menu like that. And I'm going to go down one to the yellow. What is this? XN. I'm now in here. This is milliseconds. And I'm going to increase it to 2 milliseconds. And now we can start to see the modified sine wave. I go to trigger mode, TR. If I go over, I can see that green line. I can drop it. Anywhere I drop that green line, that's where it focuses on. So there. Now I have a modified sine wave from my inverter. And there's a few other things you can do here. If you go back to the blue, I'm at 10 volts. You can go down to 5 volts. And now this is the modified sine wave we're looking at. This is 5 volts. That's 10 volts. 5 volts. What am I at now? 2 volts. It's off the charts. It's not even in there. So this is 5 volts, 10 volts, and then I can go to my milliseconds, and I can increase it from 2 milliseconds to 5 milliseconds. Now I got more modified sine waves in my screen. I can see. I can increase it some more, get even more. I can decrease it, decrease it some more, so I can see more detailed images of the modified sine wave. I usually like to leave it at 2. I believe that's milliseconds. Not sure. I'm not a pro at this. I just know to use this thing to see what I want to see. Then if you go into XN, which is the yellow, and scroll down to depth. Is it depth? Wait a second. I gotta find the right one here. Is this it? Time base. That's the one. Is the top one. Missed it right there. No, that's the wrong one. Gotta figure this out all over again. Which one is it? There's one other thing I learned how to do with this thing that I can't figure out here in film. It's a lot of trial and error. Just hook up something and play with stuff and see what happens. The manual was not very helpful to me. I pretty much just threw it out. Let's see here. Trigger mode. No. I don't really use anything in here a whole lot. And that's pretty much it. That's how I use this super cheap oscilloscope. I love it. Works great. Oh, here we go. Right here. This, what's that say? Sample depth. That is down here. That is how much of the sine wave we're sampling. So if I increase that, you kind of get this weird little ghosting effect, but that gives you it updates faster, I find. At least when I was running equipment to see what it did to my sine wave, like power tools and whatnot. If I have this set, so I go max it out, and that is again right here. I think it's sample depth. I have that maxed out. It does this weird ghosting effect, but you get a more accurate reading on your sine wave because it's the fastest I believe it can sample rate at. I'm not exactly sure. You can also increase the voltage or decrease the voltage just from 10 volts to 5 volts to get to a more defined sine wave. You can see this inverter peaks out right away, goes above what it's regulated to go for, and then regulates itself back down, and then drops back down again. It's a very cheap inverter, but it works fine. And that's how I use this little oscilloscope. Thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the thumbs up button. Helps the channel out a lot. See ya.